Schwebel room. Beat down Brown. Eddie B.
Dirty, dirty,
Dirty, dirty,
Dirty, dirty,
dirty,
dirty,
dirty,
dirty, dirty, dirty,
dirty,
dirty,
dirty,
dirty,
dirty,
dirty.
Tell the people more about the advantages of our product.
They never lose their cool.
Expand your mind. But I've got a better source of information.
What's going on, y'all? Beat down Brown, Eddie Westside in the house.
Yeah.
What's going on, homie?
We here, family. We here, man. Coming to you live on a different day, but same shit, you know. We still doing it.
Still in the building.
Yeah, man. Let's jump into this, man. This is once again, you know, still trending because he's still making the rounds, and on his I guess what you want to call it, an apology tour or forgiveness tour, love tour, what you want to call it, man. We're talking about Mr. Sean P. Diddy Combs.
You want me to go to the video on it?
Yeah, man, go for it, fam.
All right, here we go.
Spotlight today, Sean Diddy Combs, facing a fresh lawsuit alleging sexual misconduct from a former male colleague. The claimant? Music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, asserting Combs coerced him into illicit activities. This includes soliciting sex workers and participating in non-consensual sexual acts. Combs' attorney counters the allegations, branding them as false and unsupported. This isn't the first time Combs has been accused, with previous charges including rape, sex trafficking, and assault. These lawsuits, under specific survivor protection laws, play a critical role in exposing abusive behaviors and promoting accountability within the music industry. Stay tuned as we delve into the details and impact of these serious allegations against Diddy. This is a developing story you won't want to miss.
All right, man. First time a female, now it's a male. Like, bro, what's next? You know, what's those folks who try to save the animals? I forget the acronym, but yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about.
Talking about PETA?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, damn, fam. Like, everybody coming out of the woodwork, man. I wish just pay the dude off or something, man, because that's not a good look.
Well, here
goes coming at you. What's up?
Here it gets worse than that, though. Here goes the crazy part. The crazy part is like, okay, yeah, you got the lawsuit up, but then this popped up while I was doing the research on it.
Hello, everyone. Until further notice, I will not be performing at any gigs or anything like that. For security reasons, my family, friends, and everyone close to me just feels like there's a lot of potential threats, and everybody's just telling me what he's allegedly capable of, and you know, it's very scary for myself, and you know, it has me worried about my kids, and you know, just sleeping with anxiety and different things like that. So just moving forward, just want to pause on everything until we know that it's clear and safe for me to come back outside of work. I appreciate you all for your love and support, and everybody that knows me, etc. Thank you so much. Love.
That's also very good strategically as far as the lawsuit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you can put that on like, hey man, I need more, you know, restitution for pain and suffrage. And you know, I was in fear of my life and I want the bag, you know. But yeah, man, that's crazy, man. I mean, I'm sure his attorney told him, you know, yeah, green light with that. Go ahead, do that. Put that out there. But damn, a dude that's willing to, you know, cross the line, you know, because there's a lot of dudes who got stories of just keeping their mouth shut. You know, I guess they ain't got no skin in the game. Like, look, man, he didn't Diddy me, so I'm cool, but I know how he get down, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know.
The crazy part about all of this right now with how it's running is in his allegations, he said that he not only he did stuff to him and put him in situations with sex workers on like that, but they were speaking on the fact that like this cat idolized Stevie J, and that's how he wanted to be there. So that was why it came up in this allegations in this lawsuit. They said Puffy presented him with a video of Stevie J with a worker, we'll say, and said that
Man.
Stevie J is doing this, so why can't you do it? And Puffy's old bodyguard is like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Cass was indulging in stuff and stuff go crazy or whatever. A long time ago, when this video first allegedly came up, Stevie J came with proof saying it wasn't him. And there's a former male adult star that said it was actually him in it and wasn't Stevie J. And they supposedly look very similar.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever the case being, that's a house I wouldn't have want to be nowhere near. And it's, you know, you got people like Jay Versace up there busting Puff out talking about like, yeah, that big outdoor bed he had me bent over that. It's like it's just getting ugly, man. And I said before, because everybody was questioning why Cassie went to the bag rather than going to criminal charges in this situation. And looking at a situation before, I discussed it before, there's certain legal documents that they might not block on a civil trial, that on a criminal trial, they might actively try and block. So if you get that civil trial out there first, it sets a precedent.
Okay.
And so anybody else going for criminal charges afterwards can point back to the precedent set by the previous case. What threw a monkey wrench in putting that out there before, not saying this is what Cassie's bag was, but from a lawyer, this is a strategy that can work out because, all right, we aren't going to block this from that. What they didn't expect was, whether it's Puffy's direct bank or his handlers, that they were going to mess around and just seal up the documents and let's just go ahead and pay whatever fee it was. So that kind of put a monkey wrench in that. But homeboy right here going up there and they wasn't able to do damage control quick enough. Yeah. You thought the floodgates happened with Cassie?
We knew it was gonna be bad, man. I thought it was gonna be more females coming out, but you got a dude who's saying like, look, man, I was subjected to some things and I just can't shake it. I need, compensation. I need rehabilitation. I need all the things, and I need him to be my new sponsor.
All the shuns.
Yeah, all the shuns, everything, he Diddy things, damn, that's going to be in the lexicon for life. But yeah, man, it's getting ugly, man. 2024. Here we go. We go.
This cat.
Yeah, and it's like it's the same story. Just swap out the
out the names.
Yeah, swap out the names. It's the same script, and it's like, dude, just dump the bag on him or something, man. And just ride off, because the longer you let this fester, more and more people gonna jump on that train and be like, hey, man, can we do a class action? Can I jump on with your case, please? Because I was at a couple of those parties. I remember you, man. You co-signed me. I co-signed you. We could do this, and yeah, we split that down the middle.
More so even than him dumping the bag on folks. If you're showing this aggressive of a pattern of behavior, man, just get this cat off the street, man. Because remember, this isn't Cassie was some years back. Other allegations are some years back. This is the producer from the Love album. This is the producer of the last album.
Good point, sir. Good point.
This is the producer. This is fresh. This is the producer of the last album. This ain't somebody trying to slide into home right before the statute of limitations.
That part.
This album got the Love album got released last year, so it was we'll just say at most you were working on it for 3 years. And probably wasn't. It's probably a year to maybe 2. So this is post-COVID.
Yeah, it
This
was post-hugging season,
yeah,
as they called it. But
yeah,
damn, good point, homie. Good point. You're like, bro, this was, you know, he still smelled like the club. You know, he
yeah,
still got that outfit that still smelled like that night. So, yeah, damn,
yeah.
yeah,
This isn't somebody going back to like, oh yeah, we worked on Big's album.
yeah.
You know, we worked on a Total project. Nah, dog. This is fresh.
This is fresh snow. Yeah,
Because
damn.
I'm thinking when the name came up and everything, before I read the article, looked deeper into it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going back. You know, I'm even at newest, I'm putting it at Diddy Dirty Money. You know what I'm saying?
Got
Which
you.
is like
Got you.
what, 6 to 8 years ago? Like, no,
Yeah.
dog. Yeah, like
You like this was his last joint. And I was like, who is this dude? That's a great because I was like, who is this cat? So he was, is he major in the game or he was just coming up? And like you said, he was referencing Stevie J. Like, look, man, you can get on, you could be as big as Stevie if you just, you do these things. Because I'm not familiar with dude like that. For him, now he say he's fearing for his family safety and all, everything else. Never even heard of him. And he was like, he worked on his last album. I was like, well, shit, who did he have in his stable? As far as producers and stuff, still.
well, see, here goes the crazy thing, going back to the Dirty Money and everything else.
Yeah.
Puffy still has the money to go and okay, let's see. T-Pain, Diddy, Mary J. Blige, Jack Harlow, Jeremiah, Music Soul Child. Nah, he ain't no lightweight.
Okay. He didn't got some reps up under
He
his
got
belt. Okay.
he got some credits, but the one thing about Puffy, besides having the bag that big and having all the endorsement deals that big, for the fact that he could still release music, until this crap came out, people were still willing to work with him, and he was still popping up places. So
Yeah.
he was hopping up on, and he was being referenced because of the history of Puff.
Yeah.
He's still being referenced by current rappers. You know what I'm saying? You got Griselda still referencing them if they're not directly working with them. You got
Okay.
everybody still. He was in that lexicon.
Okay.
So with that being the case, nah, it's bad, it's ugly, but he still got room
It's still
to work.
Diddy until he's convicted, because in our court, everybody looking at him sideways, like, man, make sure he ain't on the list, but there's a few, like you said, that'll reference him, but I won't see him doing his dance in anybody's video no time soon.
Well, let's put it this way. You gotta look at it.
Or maybe not. Maybe he will. Go ahead.
We gotta look at it this way. Puffy has got 30 plus years in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was literally a major player in the game.
Yes.
He was the game at one point.
He had it on lock. Yeah, he had
that
his run.
shows you how long somebody will still tolerate and mess with you, because Tekashi, Cass was still willing to take a bag to mess with him, and he's
Toxic.
a smudge on the lens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a smudge on the lens, and literally he was a rat and was still able to pull a major artist onto a project with him after being a rat, after the jail time.
Easy. Yeah, but yeah, that's another story. But yeah, he definitely did that. And I thank you for, tying that in, because that's what it was. Yeah, and we live in a different age where it's get over it and move on to the next, give me another 2 to 3 minute clip, on to the next, so I'm assuming, he's very much still relevant. I won't even put him out there like that. I'm thinking of, even though it wasn't that long ago, like how, R. Kelly is still revered in certain circles, and, he's convicted, so.
It's the historical nature of these figures, and I don't support it or condemn it, because I am one that'll say separate the artist from the art. Because if we go to Hollywood alone, And I'm talking about historically. I'm not talking about
Yes,
the
yes.
Me Too movement.
I'm talking about, you
Going
talk about
back,
the foundation. I got
going
you.
to the
I know.
foundation of it. There's so much filth, disgusting, grit and grime everywhere,
Yes.
to where it's like, come on now. You don't have to tell me that there's dirt up under the nails of this industry. I know there's dirt up under the nails of the industry. I'm looking at it. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah, get this cat off the street, man. This cat's still, you're still actively a menace. You are actively a menace. And it's, and in this age of, this is what I have. I don't have a problem with anybody in whatever they want to indulge with, because I don't have to indulge in it. That's your bag. But I do have a problem that is, your game is to be a predator, and let's call it what it is. If your game is to be a predator, your game is to force somebody into something they don't want to do, then I have a problem with you.
Got it.
And that's where I scream, go ahead and get this cat off the street, man.
Okay.
But you know, until facts rain out, there's like, okay, this is hearsay, I guess we'll let him have a pass. But it's too much stacking up, man.
All right.
Will I stop listening to Bad Boy albums? I ain't saying that.
Nah.
I ain't saying that, because I mean, like I said, every major distributor, that I gotta stop listening to Mariah Carey albums because of the monster Tommy Mottola is. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's
everybody,
not gonna happen, so
everybody is a piece of shit. And it's just, there's a piece of shit somewhere in the food chain. Just understand it is, and enjoy what you enjoy, dislike what you dislike, and understand that, like Charles Barkley said back in the day, ain't none of these motherfuckers role models.
That part. All right. Let's transition. We got to stay on him.
We got to stay on him, because homeboy is working. Hold on, I got more video evidence on this man right here. I was putting in work with the edits. Here we go.
First original version of Flavor in the Air comes out, which is produced by me. It said produced by Moe B for B Mo Easy Productions.
Legendary Mo B.
I remember he said, yo, we gonna do the remix. He had the idea to throw LL, Buster, Rampage on there. Dope. When I saw the record and it said, in this particular order, remixed by Sean Puffy Combs, Chucky Thompson, and Mo B, I bugged out. I kind of flipped out, because I was like, wait a minute. You didn't do anything on the record. And Chucky Thompson, he kind of sat there and watched me do the remix in Sound on Sound Studio. I remember where we actually even did it. And I remember, like, I was like, yo, what is this, man? Like, I was wondering, like, why? Because I didn't go along with the management thing. Now my credit is getting taken. And I went up there with my manager. I called my manager up. I was like, yo, this is not right, when I saw the record. So I went up there and I spoke to him about it. I said, yo, what's going on? What you doing here? I see the way the credit. And I remember I had told him, I said, yo, do me a favor, man. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. I don't like that. And from that point on, I think that's when the relationship changed over there. My relationship, period, started to change. And I noticed that certain people wouldn't deal with me and stuff like that. I was like, yo, what is this, man? I mean, I heard about blackballing and all kind of stuff. I was like, yo, what is it? You mean to tell me, like, from something like that, from me talking to them, telling them, like, yo, I didn't like that. Yo, like, don't do that no more. And how can we fix the credit? Is that what got me into this?
So, yo, right there, got legendary Mo B saying,
legendary.
And if anybody, first of all, for a little bit of background, You got the flavor in your ear song, and then you have the remix. And if you bother to listen to them, first of all, both legendary cuts.
Yes.
The remix was crazy.
Yes.
Adding those extras on it. I mean, there's even little, conspiracy theories around that remix song like that. We're not going to get into that, because something came up recently on that.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yes.
But
go ahead. Yeah.
Diddy doing Diddy things.
Yeah.
But whatever the case being, the one major thing in this, that's one track, because Diddy is known for going over top of producers, and with he and Stevie J, especially on the second Biggie album, going and doing extra orchestration like that and changing up tracks. But if you ever listen to Flavor in Your Ear and Flavor in Your Ear remix, you'll know the beat didn't change. There was no change. The only thing different was Puffy did the intro to the remix, and then you just added vocals on it. You added rappers on it. That's it. So Easy Moe B has a point. Dog, you did nothing to this track. Basically, in a modern studio session, back then you recording the DAT, you recording the reel-to-reel, whatever, depending on what the studio has going on. In a modern studio session, all you did was probably looped up an extra session on it to make the beat a little bit longer and opened up a new Pro Tools session or Logic or whatever else you recording in. You did not turn around and do anything fire or flip up this beat whatsoever. No, it wasn't.
Any programming, there was nothing, there was no sampling, there was no digging in the crates. You got on there, you laid your track down. Even you might have even had it in the can and just, like you said, flew it in. That was it. I'm gonna put mine on right here, number one. I'm gonna move everybody else around in Pro Tools. I'm right here. That's it. That's all he did. In his mind, he produced the whole fucking thing, and to come in at number one, I think Easy Moe B would have been cool if he was on the back end. He was like, he didn't like the order.
He didn't like the order, and he also did. He was like, "How are your names added to this?" Now, one thing I'll correct him on, and this is what I always suggest to cats: understand, you're a composer, so you should have been on the writing credits too, and possibly wasn't.
Yeah.
As far as production goes, I told you, producers go with the fact of, if that rapper tells you, hey, turn that snare down. That's what Puffy was known for. Hey, man, I don't like the vibe of that. Bring that up. Turn that down, whatever. You're now an executive producer. That is true. Because what a producer does is arranges how it sounds. They don't necessarily do the composition of the song. So technically, and if Chucky was sitting in there with the engineer and telling the engineer what to do, or possibly engineering himself, technically he's the producer too. But what he's saying is, after I told you my credits wasn't right, the order wasn't right, and everything else, he blackballed him. Now there's two ends to look at. There's three ends to look at this, because I like to dive in, see what's cracking, see how much truth it is to that. And I'm looking at my man's schedule of production before then. And he starts back in '89 with Big Daddy Kane on It's a Big Daddy thing, right? Working on, he had his group Riff, Rapping is Fundamental. That was going on during '91, along with like Nicki Nicole, J Rock, the Genius on Words to the Genius, Prince Rakim. So that's Wu-Tang, pre-Wu-Tang. So that's a Wu-Tang affiliation, pre-Wu-Tang. Like he said later on in that same interview, and shout out to the streamer to put that back up, he won a Grammy for working with Miles Davis on that Doo-Bop. And that was previous to Flavor in Your Ear. He did the movie Gladiator, he did with Third Base. He's got Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag before that. He did the first single for Biggie. With that Party and Bullshit.
Yeah.
This is all previous to that. So 94 hits. Still working with Big Daddy Kane. Still did what are we looking at here? 5 tracks on Project Fuck the World. Working with Crystal Waters, the Brat, he did Give It to You. He did the remix to that. Working with Heavy D, rest in peace. I mean, he's all over the place.
Right.
And then, of course, Pac picked him up. So he did Temptations, all that stuff, working with Channel Live for the Reprogram remix, working with DOS Effects. But I do get what he's saying, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, 95, he's still running hard. 96 with Busta Rhymes with the Come In, Lost Boys, doing Jeep Flex Coupes, Beamers in the Benz, Lifestyles of the Rich and Shameless, still going crazy. Did Game of Death with Rakim and Shaquille O'Neal, going back to our Ballers That Rhyme, working with the Licks, Chubb Rock and Craig Mack again, Rage and all like that in 97. But once 98 hits, starts drying up. 99 hits, it's even worse. 2000, you're basically looking at going back to old stuff. And then, of course, the 2000s, he's pretty much kind of dry. Like most of the 2000s and 2010s, it's looking like what 1 year would have looked like for him.
Ouch.
Now, when I say he could be wrong, he could be right. On the he could be wrong end of it, first we'll go on to he could be right. Where he could be right, like I was even saying with Puffy with the Love album and what's the time frame it happened in. When you're working with a major label album with a touring artist or with multiple touring artists and everything else, you don't make especially pre-digital recorded album on your laptop, on your tour bus, on your iPad, whatever, before that type of thing, emailing tracks rather than actually having to be in the studio.
Right.
When you go to work on an album, it was taking 1 to 2 years because you had to fit in everybody's time schedule, fly out where they are, meet in this studio here, take the sessions from the West Coast studio recordings and bring it to the East Coast studio. All right, that. So all that stuff, we don't know if all that stuff that happened from 95 through 99 actually happened previous to Flavor in Your Ear. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. That could have all been work that was in the can. And he truly was shut out. This once again goes into, you like, how is Puffy walking around with this? How is he still existing in this? This does preach to the popularity and the power of such an iconic figure. That's like, okay, during that time, it was big and it was Puff and it was Suge.
Yeah.
Then Master P to a lesser degree a little bit later on, then Baby and those guys a little bit later on, but it was mainly those two big figures. And if you got shut out by those two big figures, it messed everything up. You saw how Suge almost shut out Warren G, and they kind of did shut out Warren G.
It did. He had the first West Coast rapper to get signed to Def Jam. So
right. But even after that first album, Warren G was kind of, on an island a little bit after Suge turned off the faucet.
Yeah.
So could Puff shut him down? Yes.
But there's no you went through the whole litany of everything that happened, and the numbers don't lie, the credits don't lie. He was hot, and then all of a sudden, like you said, Puffy turned out, he turned off the lights and was like, yeah, you're done here. Anybody fuck with him? Yeah, you're not gonna get any features or any endorsements from me. Don't touch him. He's toxic. That's what happened. What he said happened. There's no three sides. That happened. That's it.
The only other end I will put where it might be a case of, and I don't support this, but where I'll say he kind of aged out of the game. And what I mean, he aged out of the game, I'm talking about sonically aged out of the game for a little bit. Because notice the last couple names I brought up afterwards with the arrival of Down South taking over the Sonics.
Yeah. That's a whole nother. Yeah, that's a whole
Easy Moe B right now. If you hear Easy Moe B production now, and he's back in the game, Cass is up there messing with him like that again. Not like that, but they're messing with him like that. Easy Moe B, he's still working on the SP12. You know what I'm saying? He's still working on the same machines. He isn't moved what he's working on.
I got you.
So with that being the case, because you could say, oh, well, Cass was still messing with Premier, Cass is still messing with Pete Rock. Well, them cats went into their niches as far as who they were working with. And also the other thing besides that, what you also have in that scenario, besides going into your niches, they kind of adapted a pinch, not a whole lot, but sonically, you had that Atlanta, you had snap music, you had crunk, you had the down south bounce, you had the New Orleans bounce going on. So that kind of aged your sound out a little bit, especially if you're still sitting on the same type of vibe, same type of steez.
Yeah,
to where the fact of the matter is,
Preem never cooled off. Preem or Pete, they never really cooled off. There wasn't no, no cold summers for these cats. These cats stayed relevant throughout those times. Like Easy Mo, he just fell off. Like you said, man, he didn't go into that toolbox, you know what I
well,
mean, and figure something else out.
well, my question is this with this also, and this is the one thing we have to look at as a difference too. Primo had his own stable.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
the Gangstar had the Gangstar family.
Yeah.
And
So
then they had numerous branches off the tree because, whether it be Big Suge, whether it be Group Home, whatever, you
right,
had people that were messing with Gangstar as a unit.
right.
Pete Rock, even though it wasn't Pete Rock and CL Smooth anymore, he still had all the money earning Mount Vernon cats that was messing with him. Then you had Dilla and Tip and everybody else making phone calls into him,
Mhm.
and that gave him longevity. Because then all of a sudden the upstarters doing boom bap was up there. It's like, we Pete Rock fans. I think another thing that happened to Moe B was, did you have a crew around you? Because Kane fell off at that time too. And
Right,
Kane was his main dude.
right,
And
right.
so if Kane technically kind of fell off or played the background and got into other stuff,
Then
then who do you have?
yeah,
And
I
Big
mean,
passed, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because Big would have held him down. Big pass, Pop pass, the cats who really mess with him that have
heavy.
foundations, and their crews didn't pick up the torch. I think that's another thing, was he had some major players that would have messed with him outside of it, but they died. And
Okay.
their crews didn't make something happen. So it was an ugly bout for him. But yeah, I do believe him that Puff shut him out, locked him down. I just think you have to retool also. But this is showing Mr. Combs is still a menace, man. Get him off the streets.
We can leave it at that, fam.
Hey, we
We're
want to
done.
thank all of the
Yeah.
supporters, man. We want to thank everybody watching, checking us out. We want to thank y'all for being with us for another Dirty 30. We want to thank all the subscribers. Thank the rest of the crew, man. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? My man Eddie Westside, old man Ali, old Painless, Sister Kiki up there
Sauce
on
on
that
bread.
sauce on bread doing that 3 p.m. D.
Yeah,
My
don't forget about
my man
Dirty
Handsome Man.
Dives coming at you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Go a little
know,
deeper, baby.
pull a little something out the bag
Oh
whenever we
yeah.
miss
Oh
something. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Me and Handsome Mandela, but Handsome Mandela and Jay Drews up there bringing it to y'all with that Deeper Dives Dialogue Unlimited. And
Yes,
of
sir.
course, me and Eddie Westside, Eddie P up here bringing it to you with the Dirty 30. We appreciate all y'all. And by the way, we got Handsome Mandela coming with the solo show soon.
Okay.
It's actually already in the can.
Okay.
We just
Okay.
waiting for the premiere. We waiting for the premiere date, but it's already in the can. It's done. It's not a
Got it.
question of if it's coming. It's just when
It's
it's coming.
when it's
It's
coming.
done.
Got it. Got it.
So want to shout that out too. I'm not going to throw the name out there yet. I'm gonna let him do that. We
All
will
right.
premiere that. But appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all for being a part of us. And like, share, subscribe, share. Make sure y'all getting them comments. Shout out to my man Remnant. He always stay in the comments
Indeed.
to keep us on our
Always.
toes. Hey, that's real stuff. Thank y'all. We will be back for another one. Holla at y'all. Peace.
Peace.